Hi, Kiran. Good morning.
Hello. Hi, Dayan.
Hi.
Very good morning.
Hi. Happy New Year also.
Yeah, wish you too a very happy new year.
Sorry, yesterday actually. Uh, I didn't reach
Yeah,
on
so
time.
others are joining.
Okay.
Give me a minute, please. Yeah, Gayatri.
Good morning. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, then I think we can get started.
Okay, sure. So, yeah. Good morning, everyone. Let me share my screen and then we'll start. Okay. Kiran, can you please enable the screen sharing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's fine.
Okay. So now, so last time we had discussed, like we had created a channel, and then also we have joined the channel also, and we have updated the anchor peers, right?
Mhm.
That part we had completed. Today what we are going to do is we'll try to deploy the chain code. Okay, so already chain code is available. So the same chain code which is available inside the fabric samples, so that chain code we'll try to install it, and then we'll try to understand the complete process of deployment. Okay.
Mhm.
So to do that, what we have to do is we have to, so in my laptop my network is down. Okay, so I have removed my network. So what I will do is I will start my network again and I will create a channel. Okay, but this time I'm not going to use the all the single steps, but I will use the script to start my network. Okay, so in your machine also, if your network is not running, you can just first down your network and then start the network again. Okay, so let me remove these images first. So docker stop -eq. Okay, and then rm. Okay, docker and docker network prune. Okay, fine. So now I just go to my folder, Hyperledger, then HLP, then fabric samples, and then test network. Okay, so the very first thing what I will do is I will down my network first. So for that we have to use network.sh down, and after that we'll up our network with this script only. Okay, so now I will up my network. Okay, so the certificates are being generated again, and now it is starting my network. Okay, so the network has been started now. Now next thing is I will create a channel. Okay, so to create channel we have the script network.sh up and create channel. Okay, so by default my channel would be my first channel. Okay, so my channel has been created now. Okay, and my peers have joined the channel also, and anchor peers also updated. Okay, now we are ready to go next, that is the deploy chain code. Okay, so to deploy chain code what we have to do is so let's start from here. So the very first thing what we have to do is we have to set the environment variable for the chain code. Okay, right now we are going to use the Golang chain code. Okay, so that is the first we'll try to go install Golang, and then we'll also we can try it for JavaScript also. Okay, so to set the environment variables, what we have to do is we have one script that is set fapcar golang context.sh. Okay, so what you can do is you can create a new file in your scripts folder. Okay, so open your scripts folder. Okay, so in the scripts folder we have one, so this is the file set fapcar golang context.sh. so this you have to create it. Okay, it is not available by default. So this I have created by because every time we should not like set the environment variables for chain code also. Okay, so that is the reason I have written this very simple 10 line of code which will be setting up the environment variable for the chain code. Okay, so what exactly we are doing is
that
yes.
file is not present under test network script folder, so you'll have to create that.
You have to create that, yes. So
Can you repeat please why are we creating this file?
yeah, so this file is to set the environment variable for your chain code. Okay, so when you deploy your chain code you will need, okay, you have to put like which language you are going to use for your chain code, what is your chain code path, what is your chain code version. Okay, also if you are using the Golang, okay, so in the Golang you have to install some dependencies. Okay, so those dependencies also we are going to install using this script. Okay, unless like if you don't do this, so then you have to put this 7 to 8 commands in your terminal every time whenever you deploy. Okay, so to like minimize the human error we have to just like we can just export at once and we can run in a single file.
Can you share a code as well?
Yes, I'm sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are going to define the language, which language we are going to use, then the path of the chain code, where exactly my chain code is available. So my chain code is available inside chain code /fapcar/go. Okay, so if you come here, this is my chain code folder, then fapcar and then go. Okay, and this fapcar.go, this is my chain code in the Golang. Okay, so maybe this is like you won't be able to understand much in this chain code. We'll start the Golang from tomorrow. So then you will be able to understand everything what is happening here. Okay, but for now, just focus on this in setting up the environment variables. Okay, so once you do that, after that, we have to run this file. Okay, to run this file, what we have to do is we have to just source it. So let's copy it, go to terminal, and this we have to do from the test network only. Okay, so go to test network, run this. So it will say finished rendering Go dependencies. So this output you should get. Okay, done.
I'm just trying that.
So just like this, like a script, right? So like when you work in a project, so there will be like many times or many scenarios where you have to create a very short, like simple script files for your single or two or three activities or operations. You have to just create the small script files. Okay, so this is one of the example. If you are installing the Chaincode, the one is like you just directly run the deploy CC, and then everything will be automated. That is the all steps of deploying the Chaincode will run at once. Okay, second one is like breaking that complete script in a smaller pieces.
Then have you shared these lab 3 document link? I don't see that on Trello.
Okay.
You can share that on chat for now if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I will upload it to Trello also.
Yeah. Not an issue. Yeah. Okay. It's fine.
Yeah. So now the next thing is we have to export these 4 variables also. Okay. So first variable is configuration path. Okay. So first configuration path is config. Okay, config folder. Second configuration path is config tx folder. Okay, and then my channel name, that is my channel, and then the last one is my bin folder path. Okay, so first is config. So in the Fabric samples, you will find one config folder. Okay, so this is my config. Okay, so from this config folder, this core.yaml is available. This core.yaml has some core configuration of Hyperledger Fabric. Okay, which we are going to use in the deployment. That is why we have to just export this path. Okay, then we have config tx. So config tx is available in our test network here. This is a config tx where we had our config tx.yaml and core.yaml. Okay, both the files are available here, right? And then my channel, you already know. Bin folder, you already know. Okay, so in the bin folder we have the binaries for our Fabric. Okay, so let's export all these in the terminal. Okay, so we have exported now. Right, once you do this, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it
So
exported.
if you see, I have exported one path of config tx. Okay, and inside config tx we have one file config tx.yaml. Right, so let's try to understand this configuration file. This is the kind of heart of your Fabric network. Whatever network you write, you have to have this config tx.yaml. Okay, what is the importance of this file? If you just recall your last session, so what we were doing is we had created one channel. Okay, but before creating a channel, we had generated a Genesis block. Correct. So the very first block which we have generated, like that was the Genesis block, right? And in the generation of Genesis block, we have used one profile, right? So that profile name was to.org application Genesis. Correct. Right, right. So
Yeah.
if let me open the document also, so it will help you to recall very. So in the network launch.
Lab 2 document, you mean, right?
Yeah. So when you are creating a Genesis block, okay, so that time, so here I'm creating a Genesis block, right? Step number 9. Here I'm giving a profile name to.org application Genesis. Okay, so basically when we create a Genesis block, okay, so in the Genesis block, all your configuration, like core configuration, will be available for your network. Okay, like on this particular configuration, your network will be running. Okay, so all your policies or your organization details, your order details, your channel details or channel configuration, everything will be packaged into one file, and that file will have a profile, and in profile we'll import all those configurations, and then we'll use that profile when we create a Genesis block. Okay, so if you see here, this is my profile. Only one profile is here. Okay, why? Because only one channel I'm going to have. So now what we have is, the very first thing is channel defaults. Okay, this is just a pointer. It is pointing to channel defaults. We have one section where all the channel configuration is available. So it is just pointing to that. Okay, then we have order. So we have for order default. So we have one section for order also. Then organization. So we have the organization also. We have the capabilities also. This is the configuration for your order. Okay, so remember one thing, in the Hyperledger Fabric we have two things, two sections basically. One is order section, second one is your application section. So in your order section, all your order configuration will come. In your application section, your organizations will come, like org1, org2, org3, or whatever number of organizations you have. Okay, so the highlighted one is my order section, and order details would be there. Then in the application, so we'll use application defaults, and the organizations, here I will list out the number of organizations which I am going to have in my network. Okay, so basically org1 and org2. Then capabilities, so that will come from your application capabilities. Now one by one we'll try to understand, okay, what kind of configuration is available in these defaults. Okay,
Capabilities means features that our application provides, or what?
yes, so the capabilities meaning the compatibility between the different versions. Okay, so that we have one section. So basically all this configuration will come from 5 sections. Okay, like we have the organization section, then capabilities, then application, then order and channel. These are the 5 core sections where we define all the configuration, and then we import this 5 sections configurations in our profile. Okay, so now let's look at organizations first. Okay, so here we are going to define all the organizations configuration. Okay, so right now in this example or in this network, we are going to have total 3 organizations. One is order org, second one is org1, and the third one is org2. Okay, so first we'll define the configuration for order org. Okay, this name you can give as per your requirement. Okay, org1, org2, order org, you can give as per your requirement. Okay, then here name, id, and MSP directory. Okay, so name is order org, but you can give as per your requirement, that is up to you. ID, okay, here we define the MSP ID. Okay, so actually we define, so for order order MSP is the ID. Okay, so everywhere in your network you have to use order MSP only when you use or when you want to use the order MSP. Okay, right? So this is a place where you define your MSP IDs. Okay, the same ID you are using in the YAML files also, like Docker YAML files also, right? So this is the place where you have to define the MSP ID, and then this MSP ID is coming from this path. This path is in your available in your laptop, right? Organizations, order organizations, then example.com, and then MSP. So these are the MSPs coming from this path, right? After that, we have the policies. Okay. So basically, these policies are the one on which your network will be acting. Okay. So let's say we have the type of policy: reader, writer, and admins. Okay. So who will be the reader, or like what kind of access you give to the readers, then writers to the and the admins. So basically, your whoever is part of your order MSP. Okay. So all members will be reader, all members will be writer also, and all admins will be your admins. Okay, so this is the policy which we have here. The policy comes with in a two conditions. You can define in a or and. Okay, so in the combination of and or, you can define your policies. Okay, there is a provision to create your own policy also if you want to have. Okay, so for that you have to use some plugins, and using those plugins you can create your own policy if you need for your business requirement. Okay, apart from this, but rarely though that kind of situation comes where you need a custom policies. Okay, Fabric generally cover all kind of policies which you required for your network. Okay, for general use cases. Okay, for like 95% use cases, we won't require any custom policies.
So policies are specifically applied for different user roles.
Yes, so here, like in every network you will have readers, writers, admins. Okay, so like who will be your reader? So basically the member of your MSP ID or order MSP. So who are the members? Your orders, like if you have multiple orders, so they are the members, right? So they will have reader access, they will have writer access. Then in your order, one admin will be there. Okay, so admin will have so who will be having the admin access? The one who is already having the admin, like who is admin of that particular order. Okay, so he will be having the admin access. Okay, similar way we have order endpoints. So since right now we are having only one order, so that is why only one endpoint you can see here, that is order.example.com 7050. But if you have multiple, then there is a list of endpoints you will find here. Okay, so this is all about my order organizations, right? Next I have here is org1. Okay, so my first organization name is the org1. So here we'll define the name, that is org1 MSP, then ID, the definition of MSP ID here, and then the MSP directory. So the directory is organizations, then peer organization, org1.example.com, and then /MSP. Okay, now coming to the policies, here you will find the policies, 4 types of policies. Okay, one important thing which I forgot here, you can see the type of policy also, right? Type is signature.
Yes,
right? Can you see here? So basically you will find two types in the policies. One is signature, second one is implicit meta. Okay, so in later sections we'll see implicit meta also. Okay, so like the question here is when to use a signature and when to use implicit meta. Okay, so when you want to have, like when you are going to have a single person, okay, in your policy, then we are going to use signature. Okay, and when we are having a group of people, okay, like let's say a set of admins or a set of members, okay, or majority of members, majority of admins from the group, that time we will use implicit meta. Okay, so signature is for individuals, implicit meta is for group. Okay, so here if you see org1 msp.admin, so admin will be like a single person only, right? Peer will be a single, client will be a single, right? Or here if you see member, right? So member will be a single person. So that is why we are going to use signature policy here. Sorry, signature type here. Okay. Same way, if you have the group of admin or majority of admins, majority of peers, majority of clients, right? That time we'll use implicit meta type. Okay. In other words, we use the terminology is type 1 and type 3. Okay, so signature is type 1 and implicit meta is type 3. Okay, so some in few places or in documentation you will find type 1 and type 3 also. Okay, so that is just naming alternate name for signature and implicit meta, right? Now if you see the reader policy here, so who can read the data? Admins, peers and clients. Okay, then who can write the data? So for writing the data, admin and client, right? Then who will be the admin? Of course, the person who is having admin access will be the having the admin. Then endorsement. This is the new one, right? So as you know, like whenever an endorsement will happen, endorsement is only done by the peers. Okay, let's have a note for this. Only peers can do the endorsement.
Okay.
Orders will not be doing the endorsement process. Okay, so only peers can do the endorsement. So policy also will be the same, like whoever the peer of org1, that peer can do the endorsement. Okay, so here you can see org1 dot peer, sorry, org1 msp dot peer. So my peers will be doing the endorsement. So that policy we have defined here. So you now you got it, like why we have not kept the endorsement policy in the order section, because order cannot do the endorsement. Okay,
Basically, endorsement is necessary for achieving the consensus, right?
correct.
Or adding the block. So that's why that is applicable for peers only.
Yeah, so if you recall your theory session, so in the theory what we had discussed is your consensus process in the fabric will be like it is a combination of 3 sub processes, like endorsement,
Yes.
like your block creation and block validation. Okay. So till validation or till commit, the endorsement process will, the consensus will be there.
Yeah.
Okay, the very first thing in that process is the endorsement. So in the endorsement, only peers can do the endorsement. Okay, also like which peers? The peers which we especially configure, like only these peers will be my endorsing peers. Okay, so manually we can decide that which peer will be my endorsing peers. Okay, so whenever you create your network, you have to, or whenever you deploy a chain code, that time you have to define like this peer will be my endorsing peers from this particular organization. Okay, so that also we can decide which peer will be the endorsing peer. Okay, now the same kind of configuration you will find for second organization also, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So only name, like name would be org2 msp, id would be org2 msp, and then msp directory. Then we have the reader, writer, admin, and endorsement policies. Okay, so this was the organization section. Okay, so the same section. So in the profile, if you see, so we are importing the organizations here. Okay, so in the organization, I'm importing org1 and org2. Okay, in the application, in the order, I'm exporting the organization, but only order organization. Sorry, order org, right? So all three has been imported: order org, org1, and org2 in the profile, right? Next is capabilities. Okay. So the very first question is why we need the capabilities. Okay. So as you know, like Fabric is a distributed or decentralized network, right? Where multiple organizations can come, they can create the consortium, and they can create the network. Let's say two, or let's say five organizations are there, five companies are there. They came together and they decided, let's create a Hyperledger Fabric network, okay, based on our consortium, right?
Mhm.
When they very first, like when they start, like as you know, like whenever five organizations come, so they will have their own servers. On their servers, they are going to have their peers running, right? Let's say org1 has two peers, so those two peers will be running on their own server. Then org2 has two peers, it will also run on their environment only. So likewise, all peers are running in the respective environments of the organizations. Okay, so if those peers are running in their environment, then of course the configuration files will be like they will have their separate or configuration files for their peers, right? Separate configuration files meaning the Docker compose files, basically, correct? So what happens is, let's say the very first deployment, that time everyone decided, let's go for Fabric 2.2 version. Okay, so all the organizations, all the peers are running on the 2.2 version of the Fabric. After 1 month or after 2 months, new Fabric release came. Okay, let's say 2.3 came, version 2.3. And out of five organizations, two organizations are saying, okay, we want to use the updated version of Fabric. We want to upgrade our network. Okay, but three organizations, they don't want to upgrade the network. They because when you upgrade your network, of course you will need some manpower, you will need the developer, you will need the admin who will be updating your network. So basically the cost is involved in that process, right? But three organizations, they said, okay, we don't want to invest some money here because my network is perfectly running and it is a long time LTS version also which is running. But two organizations said, no, we want to upgrade. Okay, we have funds, we can invest and we want to upgrade our network. Okay, so in this situation, what will happen to the consortium, right? Because in general way, if multiple versions are running, of course there might be an issue of compatibility, correct? So to remove this risk of the compatibility, or remove this complete like you can say uh, risk of using the different version, Fabric provides a section where we can have the capabilities defined same for all the organizations. Okay, how we are going to define the capabilities same for all the organization, meaning, so you know, like Genesis block is the same, right? So Genesis block will be common for everyone, and config tx.yaml file, this file is will be common for everyone, right? So when we start our network, right, so that time we will define the capabilities version, so which capability version we are going to use in our network, and that will be common for everyone. Okay, so this capability will ensure that if you are using the multiple versions of Fabric in your network, okay, so your network will not break, your transaction will be running smoothly as it was running in the same version. Okay, so basically it means multiple versions of Fabric you can run in a single network. Okay, multiple versions meaning, you just look at here. Okay, if I do docker ps here, okay, so right now if you see this Hyperledger Fabric peer0 org2.example.com, this is running on Fabric peer latest, correct?
Mhm.
Can you see here? And
Yes.
second one is also running on a latest only, but the scenario is I want to use a different version in this, like let's say 2.2 for peer0 org2. and 2.3 for PL0 or 1. Okay, so basically two different versions, this same network. Correct? So the capability will ensure that you can use multiple versions in your network. Okay, so how it will ensure? So it has three capabilities. Channel capabilities. So this channel capabilities will ensure that the channel will not break when you use multiple versions. Okay, it has the version. So this is the latest version which we have, that is 2.0. Okay, then we have the order capabilities. So order capabilities will ensure that your order will not break if you use multiple versions of Fabric. And lastly, we have application capabilities. So it will ensure your organization will not break when you use the multiple versions of Fabric. So order is also on 2.0, application is also on 2.0. Okay, one very important thing to remember here is Fabric version is different and capabilities versions are different. Okay, right now the Fabric version which we are using here, that is 2.3.2. Okay, here the latest capability version right now we have is 2.2. Okay, so capabilities versions are different from the Fabric version. Okay, and it is also not necessary every time that when a new version of Fabric comes, that time like your capabilities version will also come. It is not necessary. Okay, it depends on the Fabric developers, okay, who are developing the system, like how they are managing or how they want to manage the capabilities. But they will ensure that with the major release, let's say till 1.4 to 2.x, so that was a major release, okay, or a major change. Like in 1.4 version of Fabric, we were having the complete different concepts, right, with respect to Chaincode deployments. But in 2.x, they have improved that, right? So from that version to this version, of course, there will be a change in the capabilities. But from 2.2 to 2.3 or 2.2 to 2.4, there won't be a change in the capabilities. Okay, so earlier we had the different version for capabilities also. Let's say if I open the 1.4 version, okay, so I'm opening the 1.4, so you will see here, this is my config keys here. So we had the channel capabilities. So latest was 1.4.3. Before that we had 1.3 and 1.1 also. Okay, so whatever version you want to use, you can have to just enable it by using the true. Okay, so you can enable your capabilities also. Right now the latest version which right now we are using, that is the 2.x, or sorry, 2.0. Clear? So this is the importance of the capabilities. And we have three types of capabilities: channel, order, and application. Moving on, next one is the application section. So in the application sections, we are basically going to define the policies for application. Okay, so these are the policies for application. So reader, writer, admin, lifecycle endorsement, and endorsement. Okay, so reader policy, here you can see the type is implicit meta. Why implicit meta? Because the rule is any reader. Okay, like from a group of readers, any reader can be a reader. Okay. Then same any writer. So here we are talking about a group. That is why we are using the implicit meta type. Correct? Then we have the admins, then lifecycle endorsement. Lifecycle endorsement is basically for your Chaincode and lifecycle. Okay. Then we have the endorsement. So as you know, endorsement. So we are for the application, we will be having the org1 and org2. So for that, the endorsement policy is there. Then capabilities. So basically, it is importing the application capabilities. Okay, so this is just a pointer. Then coming back to moving next to order. Okay, so here we are going to define the configuration for our order. Okay, like which type of order. Very first thing is which type of consensus mechanism you are going to use. So we are using the type is etcd raft. So raft ordering system we are going to use. Okay, before this we were having option for solo and Kafka also. Okay, before 2.x version, like in 1.4 version we were having Kafka and solo also, but right now it is only raft.
Yes.
But if you want to use any custom consensus algorithms, so that also you can develop, you can plug in, and then here you can define that name. Okay, which consensus type or which order type basically you are going to use. Okay, then here on line number 211 we have to define the addresses. Okay, so right now I have only one order, that is why only one order address we have defined here. But if you have multiple, then you have to write it all those addresses. Then consenters. Okay, so basically consenters are the one like the nodes. Okay, so in your orders there can be a single node or there can be a multiple nodes, right? So here we are going to define the whatever number of consenters you are having inside your order. So right now we have only one, so for that we have defined only one consenter here. Okay, after that batch timeout, this is very important. Okay, so if you are going, if you will plan for the admin certification also, so in that certification this question will come. Okay, like how to or where exactly you can change the block size or block creation time, right? So if you recall your Bitcoin and Ethereum, right, in those platforms you cannot change the block size or you cannot change the creation of block time. So in Bitcoin every 10 minutes your new block will be created, right? You cannot change that, correct? That is fixed. But here you have freedom to change your, like in how many or in how much time your new block should be created. Okay, so here the best timeout is 2 seconds. Like in every 2 seconds with minimum one transaction your block will be created. Okay, so basically in 2 seconds whatever number of transactions will come, okay, your new block will be created. This time you can put like 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever time you want, that time you can put here. Okay, so this is the batch timeout. Next thing is batch size. Okay, so you can decide your size of block. Okay, so like in the size, in the max bytes also, in the message count also. So very first is max message count, that is 10. So max 10 transactions can be can go inside a block. Okay, so let's say in a 2 seconds we got 100 transactions, but only 10 transactions will go in a single block. Okay, so basically for your 100 transactions you will have to create 10 blocks. Okay, so that is a max message count for this condition. This you can change also to 10, you can put 100,000 as per your requirement. Okay, so basically out of these conditions then we have absolute max byte, that is 99 MB. That's this max size of your block. Then preferred max byte, that is the preferred size of your block, that is 512 KB. Okay, so basically out of this 4 condition, any one condition fulfilled very whichever condition is fulfilled first, your block will be created. Okay, let's say in 1 second you got 20 transactions. or more than 10 transactions, okay, then your block will be created. In 1 second you got only 5 transactions, but size is more than 512 KB. Okay, then also your block will be created. Okay, so this is how it works. So you can change your max batch timeout, you can change your message count, you can change your size of block, everything you can modify, you can customize as per your requirement. Clear?
Yes.
And when you do the certification of admin, this question will come, right? How to change that batch size, or how to change the message count. Okay, so remember, this is the
So,
place.
okay, so is it a sort of objective question that they will ask, or a kind of
No.
descriptive one?
Oh no, this will be a kind of lab they will provide.
Lab. Okay.
They will ask, okay, this is the network. Now current configuration is like 10 transactions are going inside the block. You have to make it 20, something like that. So
Okay.
you have to change the configuration, and then you have to up the network again. So that is how one question will come.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the place which you have to remember. Okay, like inside the config tx.yaml, the configuration is available. Okay,
What is the minimum time we can give in the timeout?
any 1 second also you can give. 1 second is the minimum
Okay.
which you can give.
And can we set it to infinite or no?
Infinite I have not tried,
Okay.
but because that is not preferable also.
Yes.
Basically we put 2 or 3 seconds. For development, of course, we can use 5-10 seconds, but for production
longer.
it is 2 or 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, for our order also, we have the policies here. So reader, writer, admin, and block validation policies. Okay, so now this block validation, this policy came in 2.3 version. Okay, earlier it was not there. Okay, so basically this block validation policy specifies what signature must be included in the block from the order. Okay, as you know, like every time whenever a new block will go to the peers, they will validate that block, right? So it will ensure that, okay, what kind of signatures must be there from the order into the block, so that my peers can verify that. Okay, after that we have next section is channel. Okay, so basically in the channels we are going to define the policies for our channels. So reader, writer, and admins, these are the policies for my channel, and the capabilities, so it will use the channel capabilities as default. And here we'll just combine everything, and we put inside the profile, and everything will be going in a Genesis block. Okay, so this is how the complete policies and the configuration we are going to feed inside the Fabric network. Okay, using our Genesis block. And if you see here, the same Genesis block here. So here I have created a Genesis block, that is my channel.block, right? And when you create a channel, right, so you are going to use the same block, right? Okay, I hope this is clear, right?
Yes.
So now moving on, let's come back to our Chaincode deployment. Okay, actually this was pending from last class, so we have completed now. Now let's come back to our Chaincode deployment. So we had completed step number 1. Now coming to step number 2. So in the Chaincode deployment, basically 4 major steps you will see. First one is, of course, you have to write your Chaincode, right? So once you write your Chaincode, after that the very first step would come is packaging of your chain code. Okay. So as you know, if you recall and if you know the basic difference between the chain code and the smart contract. Okay. So basically chain code is the collection of smart contracts, especially in the Fabric, right? So you can have multiple smart contracts in your system, right? But when you want to deploy those smart contracts into the network, that time you have to create a single package, correct? So here that single package we are going to create with the packaging of the chain code. So that is my very first step. After packaging, the next step would be installing the chain code. So we'll install that chain code package to the peers. Okay. After installation, my chain code will not be in position to run. Okay. So before running the chain code, we have to get the approvals from all the organizations. Okay. So all the organizations will have the same package. Okay. So those organizations should agree, okay, this is the code which we are going to run inside the Fabric network. Okay. So they will provide their agreement, they will provide their approvals. After getting the approvals, we have to create a commit request. So when we create the commit request, one definition will be created. Based on that definition, my chain code will be commit to the channel. Okay. After then only we can use the chain code, we can do the transactions. Okay. So these 4 steps would be involved in the complete deployments. Okay. So the very first thing is package the chain code. Okay. So to package the chain code, we have to set the environment variables for first organization, second organization. Any one organization you can set the environment variables. So let's set the environment variables. I hope you remember how to set the environment variables. So now my output is using organization 1. After that, I'm going to run this command, PR lifecycle chain code package. So every time we are going to use the same command, PR lifecycle chain code, and then a sub command. So right now I'm using the package command. Okay. So right now, if you see in your test network, you won't be able to find any package file. Okay. There is nothing like only network.sh log.text output file. Okay. So now we are going to create a package. Package name would be fabcar.tar.gz. Then path would be ccsrc path. So from where this path is coming? This is coming from set fabcar goal and context.sh. Remember, we have exported the chain code path, right? Then language for CC runtime language, that is Golang, that is also we have exported. And label also we have exported. So in the label, what we are using is fabcar_version. So we had exported the version also in this script. Yeah. So CC runtime language, CC src path in the version. Okay. So now let's copy this and let's run this here. Okay. Now open your VS Code. You should see one package file here. fabcar.tar.gz.
Yes.
Okay. So we have created a package now. The same package I am going to install on peer of org1. Okay. To install the package, we have to use the command peer lifecycle chain code install fabcar.tar.gz. Okay. So basically the command is peer lifecycle chain code, then sub command is install, and the package name is, just now we have created the package. So let's install. Installation can take some time, okay, because it is going to create a new container for you, okay. So it may take some time. It depends on your machine configuration actually. Okay, so in my machine it is still running. Okay, so I'm getting the responses installed remotely. Response is 200. Okay, and the hash of my chain code. Correct. So it is installed on the first peer. Now let's install on second peer also. So to install on second peer, what we have to do is we have to set the environment variables, right? So let's set the environment variables and then use the same command. And let's wait for the installation. Okay, so it is done in my machine. Okay, after that let's try to query whatever we have installed. Let's try to check it out whether we have installed correctly or not. So you can see the installed chain codes on peer. So I'm getting the package ID fabcar_1 and my hash of the chain code label is fabcar_1. Correct. So 2 steps are completed. 2 steps are pending. Okay. So we'll continue tomorrow from step number 7.
Okay.
Okay. So next one is approving our chain code, and at the last we'll commit the chain code. Okay. So now, and Kiran, for tomorrow, can we have in the evening for tomorrow?
Yeah, what time will you prefer in the evening?
Maybe 5, 6 should be fine for me. If you are if you guys are available.
Yeah. 6 will work. Not an issue.
Okay, fine. So tomorrow let's have in the evening.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we'll meet tomorrow then.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you, sir.